to you, the regular Joes.
To movies and toys and TV shows, comics and collecting and superheroes. There's no end to the useless stuff they know. But don't call them geeks, they're just regular Joes.
Welcome to the Regular Joes podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
I'm Derryl DePriest.
And I'm Brian Mix.
We have a well-planned out show for you this evening, everybody, despite what everyone usually thinks. We said last week, I think we said we have plans for 3 of the next 6 shows. This is one of them.
Amazingly, we are still on plan. 1 week.
Yes, we are.
Nothing's gone awry yet.
No, we have
plan.
plenty of time.
There's still time.
We haven't even gotten over the rules yet. So
30 seconds in, it's all good. Yeah.
We've decided to do those on the air. You may not be hearing this part because I may cut it out if it goes really bad, but we'll see. So we're doing the 2024 year in review, and I know we did it last year. We may have done it other years. Who remembers? We're mixing up the format just a little bit. We've been asked to do the rules on the air, so you get to listen to them. You may not want to, but I'm sorry.
This is the stuff that goes on off the air usually, and I was like, why don't we just do it on the show?
There have been times where this has taken an hour. I don't think that's
longer than the show
will be. So here's the deal. There are 20 categories of things that you want for us to talk about for the year in review. Last year we did it 20 set things. This year,
I just want to say, one of the 5 of us who probably needs to be listening to rules just walked away. So, wait, he's back. Okay.
Okay. So this year we're doing a little different. There are 20 categories. Everyone is to choose only 15 only, because last year there were categories you may or may not have cared about, and you just came up with an answer to come with an answer. And there are write-in categories. So you could say like, I picked 12 of the preset list, and I have 3 of my own. I have 2 of my own. I have 1 of my own. So everyone only has 15. If we talk about a category and you don't have an answer, we'll just pass. If you come up with an answer on the fly, that's fine too. So if someone we start the write-in category. Let's say Brian says, my favorite diner I visited in 2024.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Well, it doesn't really pertain to this stuff, but we were probably all at the same diner. That's why it came up.
Dave and Brian and I were, for sure.
Yeah, we went to a great diner. But the point of that is Brian will say, my favorite diner is blah, blah, blah. None of us, in theory, should have an answer. But if an answer comes to your head, feel free to jump in after he's done and say it. So the writing categories
being generous with this part
could be only for the person who is bringing up the question. But if you do, oh my God, that's great. My favorite diner is the Malibu Diner in Hoboken. I don't think it's there anymore. Everyone got that?
Yep. So just let me make sure. There could be potentially 5 times 3, 15 write-ins plus the 20 main. So we could be looking at from between, at the low end, 15 categories, and at the high end, 35.
No. There could be 15. There could be 15 write-ins, but everyone else, if you had 3 write-ins, let's say everyone had 3 write-ins, you're only picking 12 other categories. Everyone should only have 15 total categories.
Right, but theoretically, all you're right. So there's 17 on the list. Sorry, my
Yeah. So, but
it could be 17 plus 15, 32.
People, everyone individually should only have 15 things they're talking about.
Okay. So I'm just trying to gauge the show.
Todd doesn't think this is going to work at all.
It could be from an hour to 2.5 hours.
I did not say that.
I only brought that up because I think you may be right.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't. I'm just saying that. Yeah. Continue. No, we're not even going to continue. Just go ahead.
Okay.
I think it's going to go surprisingly smooth.
So to keep on track.
And the math portion of the show is now officially concluded.
No, I doubt it.
Right?
I'm sure there will be more math later.
So are we gonna rotate who goes first in each category?
That's what I'm getting to next. I have come up with a spreadsheet so we stay on order.
This is great.
And we're doing alphabetical order, not regular Joe's intro order.
Oh.
So
okay. This is the first official sign that Dave has a little more time on his hands these days than usual.
Hold on. I have a very important question. Alphabetically by
There's
first
a spreadsheet now.
I'm getting there. You're the kid in class who asked the question before the instructions were read.
And not the Bourne way or the Bourne way backwards. Or the Jason Bourne way.
First name by first name. So the order in round 1 is Barry, Brian, Dave, Derryl, Todd. Got it?
Yeah.
So then the next round 2 will be Brian, Dave, Derryl, Todd, Barry.
Oh.
The person in round 1 is Barry, chooses the topic. So when it's your turn,
Jesus!
When you're you have them all written down.
So we're not going in order of the list then. We're
not going in order of the list.
Oh, see that I wasn't expecting that.
And that's where what I'm saying is if we're only going to do 15 of these, you're going to prep some answers that we won't get to.
Not unless you won't.
Okay.
You won't. Not unless everybody. Unless everyone passes, you won't prep any. Derryl could be the only one who picked question XYZ, and he may have an answer for it, and that's it. It'll be small. Don't worry. Just the only thing I ask of you is check off, cross out, highlight, however you're using, which categories have gone. That's all. That's the only thing you guys need to do.
Okay.
I like how you found the potential flaw, Todd, though. We'll see.
I don't think anyone should have prepped answers that we won't get to. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Todd.
If you have more than 15 categories, and we're going to do 15 rounds.
No, we don't have. I have us planned for 20 rounds.
Well, we're going to go as many rounds as
we had talked about
categories.
No, I think I had mentioned we'll go more than 15 rounds.
I've got one.
Okay, then we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have to get everybody's categories in, but not everybody's going to have an answer for every category.
Yes.
Right.
We'll see, I don't know.
Let's just roll.
All right.
Yeah.
I had 4 Santikis when I wrote this all out. So. Let's do this before we jump in and potentially scream and yell and do more math. You know who's awesome? Fanboy Collectibles.
That's right.
It's the holiday season.
Totally.
Well, by the time you listen to this, it's probably too late to buy something for Christmas or Hanukkah, which both fall on the 25th this year. But you want to know the great thing about collecting? Every day is Christmas.
That's right.
It's always time to buy something. So check those guys out, fanboycollectibles.com.
There's actually nothing better than buying something for yourself and having it arrive a little bit after the holidays, like an extra little treat.
Exactly.
Yeah, unless your friends have already bought that for you, Barry.
That is correct.
Hypothetically,
I don't think anyone's bought any of these. X06 Captain Sulu up for pre-order. Well, if you bought something a year and a half ago, not blaming Fanboy, it's just the way Hot Toys goes, could show up. Anyway, in stock, last minute gift item, IG-12 in stock. Check that out.
With a baby Grogu in his chest.
Another one that you need.
One of the things that
Hot Toys
is the EO6 Commander Krug, which is on back order or wait list, a whole bunch of other sites.
It is in stock here.
They have it in stock right now.
Yeah. Check those guys out. Those are not easy to come by. I think there's a lower run of that because it's the museum grade one. Also up for pre-order, Plo Koon. We haven't seen, one of the Jedis. We haven't seen one of those. But
Dave
they got
Filoni's
everything.
favorite Jedi.
Is it? Is that chick?
It
Who
is.
played that? Is the hot
Plo
one
Koon?
from Celebration?
Well, it's Dave Filoni's favorite Jedi. I know that.
Dave Filoni. I think he said me. I remember that girl, Orly somebody or other. Anyway.
No.
Orly Shoshan. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Sideshow and Darryl, do you need to say something? What do you need to say?
Never mind, Dave. That's fine. It's a Plo Koon detail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Ladies,
I'll just let it go.
they're taken. I'm sorry. But they got hot pops and everything you need. Maybe get some Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus money. You know where to spend it. Fanboy Collectibles. Check those guys out, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut, and tell them the regular Joe sent you. Okay. On to the festivities.
So I get to pick the first category.
I'm taking a drink of vodka just to get settled in for this. No. Round one.
Well,
Barry.
I'm gonna keep it simple for the first category. We're gonna ease ourselves in. Oh wait, Todd's cracking the cork.
I was
on
not
something.
drinking vodka, Todd. It's water. I got to get up at 7:00.
Todd's doing a shot of rum.
Is that that guy who makes those things? Element. Didn't you have Element vodka?
Pie
I
rum.
got you. When he made vodka, I brought you vodka.
Nice.
Vodka.
Okay, Barry.
All right. I'm going to kick it off with what I think is an easy category: favorite news show. And I don't feel like there's any surprise because we've talked about it at length. But I will say The Penguin was my favorite news show of 2024.
So we're going to go in
There
order.
were a
Everyone
bunch
should
of
know
good news shows.
They're very good. Yeah.
So we're now.
I'm up next. I'm going to go with Skeleton Crew. I know you guys just. It's
That was
new,
second
it's
on
still
my
new, but
list.
It's in this year, and it's been surprisingly good as opposed to my disappointment, which we'll get to later.
Knowing that someone would pick Penguin, which I agree, I really liked it. But it's so funny, and Brian and I were talking about this before the show. It's like you go back, like I forgot all the stuff. I really enjoyed The Gentleman.
Yeah.
And I have an honorable mention, but I'm putting The Gentleman as my favorite show of the year. New show. Darryl.
Okay. So I haven't seen the Skeleton Crew yet because I haven't had time to watch any of it. So I fast forwarded through the podcast. Penguin is my top choice as well, Barry. So the wife and I, however, enjoy together watching A Man on the Inside. So I recommend that.
Oh, we watched that too. That was funny. It was
all
cute.
you couples out there.
I haven't made it all the way through that yet, but I'm like 3 episodes in. It's been good so far.
It was
I got to
cute.
tell you, having put my mom in assisted living / memory care this year, it hit home. And so maybe I'm feeling the emotions of the show a little bit, but it's very true.
Yeah, Pam's in the same boat. It was a little emotional at times, but I'm glad they handled it, I think, sensitively, and there was some humor.
Yep. Great show.
Also, yeah, it was good. Todd.
I would say I'm not surprisingly also going to go with The Penguin. I would say a runner-up is Dark Matter, which I really
I had that
enjoy.
as on my list as well. Yeah.
All right, so if we're going around one more time with honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And I know this was more of a limited series, and I hope that this doesn't turn into the Beatles thing all over
This
again.
fucking Beatles bullshit again.
Go ahead, Barry.
Masters of the Air.
Absolutely.
Probably be my second favorite
Yes.
show.
That
I
was
forgot about Masters of the
That
Air.
was on my list too.
that,
Yeah.
that's also in my top 5. So
Yeah.
easily, probably a
Yep.
third one. Yep.
It doesn't. We don't have to go in order. Anyone else have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, speaking of Beatles bullshit, 1964 was pretty damn good.
And that was on my list of things that I was disappointed with.
Oh,
We can
really?
talk about that later.
Get to
Wow.
Okay, interesting. Okay, anyone else? Nothing? Okay.
Fallout was also really good.
Oh, Fallout. Yeah, you guys. I didn't like Fallout. I should have put that on my disappointing list.
I haven't seen it yet, so I got to watch Fallout, The Gentleman, and Dark.
The Gentleman's great. Yeah, that's fun.
that.
Okay, round 2, Brian.
I'm going to go to favorite event that I attended.
Ooh,
And that was William Shatner's live commentary on Star Trek V.
Oh,
I had to watch the movie with
cool.
him while he talked about
you win.
all the
think he
things that
wins.
went wrong.
Well, you have a
that
lot
show.
of good William Shatner, not to mention that digital short thing too.
Yeah.
You got.
Well, yeah,
But
watching
this
it with Bill.
was 2.5 hours of William Shatner talking about why he made his choices in direction of that movie and how he got stuck with things he couldn't choose about in direction of that movie, and it was very enlightening.
That's cool. Me. It's always Rhode Island Comic Con. That's definitely at the top of the list. I will give a honorable mention that no one else is going to have, but I mentioned last week, we went to the Christmas party at Disney World, which was awesome. So I would say not exactly in the genre, but total bunch of fun. I highly recommend it if you could do it.
So I will say my favorite event was a return after 5 years to the Brimfield Antique Show this year. So
that's awesome.
you guys know me, I love going to antique shows, like especially Brimfield, and it gave me an excuse to do a tour of the Northeast. And I saw Brian at the Star Trek set tour. Got to go to the Rochester Museum of Play. So I really credit my visit to Brimfield for all that fun stuff.
Cool.
Now, did you say this was live event you attended, or could it be a virtual event, Dave?
I said favorite event. That was a question from last year. Do you have a virtual event?
I do, but I'll save it for the honorable mention.
Okay.
Todd.
Oh, I'm also going to go to Rhode Island Comic Con. I mean, just hanging out with you guys was awesome, and I'm willing to concede that'll probably be my favorite thing I do next year too. So
Wait, so I went to the outside of the Rhode Island Comic Con to meet you guys, but I didn't go in. Does that count?
no, I'm actually thinking of the lobby. It's
Yeah,
Yeah, it's always the lobby.
But to me, that's if I never set foot on the floor or bought anything or met anybody or just hanging out with you guys in the lobby is the best time of the year.
That's
So-
I
basically
think
what
I agree with that, but I did think the floor was a little better than it was other.
Oh yeah, no, it was
Other
great.
years,
But I'm
which
saying,
is nice.
strip away
Yeah, I
everything
would
else.
agree with that. All of that.
Yeah.
And Rhode Island is I have to agree, it's amazing, but I really have to go with where I went last January.
Yeah, really.
Out
Yep.
to Skywalker Ranch and checking out the Lucasfilm archives and hanging out with Dennis Murin and John Berg and Adam Savage. And I don't know how I could say that wasn't the greatest event, even though it's not technically a
In
sponsored
your life.
event, but it was an event in my life. Yes.
That's right. Yeah,
I guess it's an event. We couldn't go to the event.
that's right.
Only
Right.
you could.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
an- I was-
I might
to
quibble
be
on the
there,
event
and-
thing because I think that's almost like a work job, work trip. But anyways, yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was helping out there. I was a research assistant, but it was like an event for me. So
It was an event.
Any
So
honorable
my-
mentions?
Yeah, my honorable mention was it was the Heritage Game of Thrones auction, which may come up elsewhere in our things in the categories. But it was an event, and I was logged on a lot of the time during the event. I only bid on a few things, but my son bid on like 28 things
Wow.
in the Game of Thrones auction, as did
Wow.
apparently 3,500 other people.
Yeah.
Just like a massive number of bidders. We all
That
got
was
blanked on our stuff.
Surprising.
Yep. He
More
almost
popular than I
got-
thought it would be.
He almost got the set of Tully, the Tully armor, which was like the lowest priced of all the armor sets, but it was still above his budget, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was
that's-
quite an
that's
event, and I
unfortunate.
really felt part of something, and it was just massive. It felt like it, validated, being a fan, and it was great to see so many other fans so passionate about the show that is very much maligned, especially the way it ended. But
And I had to go back and check the dates on the Greg Jean auction because that was in my head
Oh,
as maybe
yeah.
this year,
It
but it
was last
wasn't.
year,
It was
yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Grade Jean 2 was this year,
Greg
wasn't
Jean
it?
2 was this year.
Yeah,
Greg
so
Yeah,
Jean
that
2
wasn't that
was
great,
this
though.
year.
It
But it wasn't
that's important.
on the level of Greg Jean 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of
I
leftovers.
also another thing I attended this year that I know was not a public thing, but I got invited to a very small gathering of people where Roger Christian was at, and I got to hang out with him for a couple of hours, and that was actually one of the highlights of the year for me too. That was really cool.
Nice. Very nice.
And Terrificon in August with you, Dave. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
and Princess Bride, when we saw Mandy Patinkin do a Q&A after Princess Bride, that was a lot of fun.
That was really cool.
Even
too.
I knew
Yeah.
it sounded like it was going to be fun, and it was more fun than I thought it was going to be. So that was really cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Totally.
Okay, I'm next. I'm going to do one of my write-ins just to mix it up. My write-in is celebrity interaction. And Todd was there. I have to go with Jonathan Frakes. We had a really cool conversation with Jonathan Frakes at Rhode Island.
I'm out of order, I'm sure, but I'm going to agree with you entirely because I was thinking about that today, and that was terrific. And as we said, I don't think there's a person alive who's had more stamp on Star Trek right now than him.
Yeah, true. And it was just the way he spoke. You could tell it was just natural and
got a
really,
reverence for it, and everything he's contributed has been positive.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to hold talks explaining for his choices. Anyways.
Yeah. So that's my
that was a
write-in.
Shatner dig, Brian.
I got
That only you don't all have to have one, but you can if you want to jump in with something.
I was there also for the Jonathan Frakes thing.
Yeah. That's right. I'm sorry.
Talking about Shatner having a good Shatner day was hilarious.
No, I was talking about your Shatner making excuses for his film. But
okay.
Yeah.
I had I got to be the keeper of Claudia Christian at Star Trek Las Vegas, and that was a pretty cool interaction.
I would
that must have been fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
The time I got to spend with Adam Savage in January was probably the best celebrity interaction I had, just because it wasn't like at a convention table for a minute or two. We were, hanging out in his cave, and that was amazing.
Okay, Barry, I'm going to quibble again. These people just fit into your social calendar now. I mean, these aren't not even like a celebrity thing for you.
It is celebrity
hanging
interaction.
with your buds.
So that's fair
Hey,
enough.
I brought a book for him to sign. I had it in my backpack. As far as I'm concerned, it was a celebrity interaction.
Okay, I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm also honorable mention with Kobe Smothers, who was lovely.
Yeah,
we met
she
a
was
terrific
excellent.
time. And spoiler, well, I won't even say yes. Thankfully, there's 2 more episodes. Can we talk about? Does everyone watch Shrinking?
Yes.
Todd isn't caught up though.
I'm not caught.
Yes.
Way off.
Love Shrinking.
Never mind then.
Love Shrinking.
I totally forgot about them in the same show, so we'll talk about that later.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have any celebrity interactions this year except who we met at Rhode Island Comic-Con podcasting.
Your favorite is Dr. What's her name?
Michelle.
DDS.
I was going to say Tim Kazurinsky.
Michelle Ang.
And by the way, that is how we pronounce his last name, because we totally mispronounced it in front of him on the show.
Tim Kazurinsky?
I suspect it's happened before, Barry.
What did we say?
What did you
Krasinski.
say?
We were saying the guy who's married to Emily Blunt.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And he
John Krasinski?
He would rather be John Krasinski.
Who
So
wouldn't?
I knew Tim Kazurinsky. I didn't catch that.
Yep.
Derryl, you're up.
So I'm going to spice it up, and I'll go for a write-in as well. Why not? My write-in category is favorite Kickstarter of 2024.
Oh, nice.
And Todd, I didn't go back and forth with you on this one, but I backed something called the Pre-Code Horror Facsimile Collection. And what they did was they went and collected the 13 episodes, 13 comic books that were individually talked about in the seduction
of the Wertheimer hearings.
The Wertheimer hearings, the classic ones. And I think they're all public domain, or they secured the copyrights to whatever weren't public domain, and they're reprinting them. It's not out yet, but the Kickstarter closed, I don't know, maybe just a couple weeks ago. And the price was super reasonable for those. So I'll share it with you, Todd, because I know.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would. I've told you this. I have like a first edition of Seduction the Innocent.
Yes.
It's got the jacket's really tattered and stuff, but it's just cool that Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad Todd understands, because I don't think the
this?
rest of us have
that is
any
exactly
clue
what it looks like. But
what
mine
these guys
looks
are
like
talking
looks
about.
like it's been beat up a lot. So I need to find a clean copy. So
Sweet. I knew you would like it, so I'll share those.
Seduction the Innocent was a book written by a psychologist. It's a lot of junk science and basically explaining how comic books are corrupting youth.
Okay, fair enough.
And
So that's my favorite Kickstarter of the year, but I backed a whole bunch. That's the favorite of the bunch.
Oh, really? I have not backed any.
Nor have I.
Anyone else?
I don't I don't typically back a lot of those, but I will just give a shout out to somebody who Derryl, I know you're friends with, and you introduced us to him a few years back. David West Reynolds has a new Kickstarter up right now. He's doing a documentary, or wants to do a documentary on Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that's active right now. That Kickstarter.
It could use a kick.
Yeah,
Yep, it could use a kick, and then he'll do like what he did when his Star Wars one was, I think, Discovering Tatooine.
Right. Yep.
Where he went.
Yeah.
Yep, and I did back that one back. I feel like that was like 10 years ago, but I did back that one at the time. So
yep.
Cool. Todd, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to go with my wild card. I'm going to go with comic book. Favorite comic book.
Wouldn't that fit under book?
No, I
favorite other media.
I put something else under book.
Book.
Or
all
other,
right.
Well, okay.
You're breaking the rules, but that's fine. No, I'm joking.
No, comic book wasn't on here.
That's what I'm saying.
Other media, but whatever.
It said other media. I think that was a catch-all, but okay.
No, if Todd wants to break the rules.
Todd's a rule breaker.
I'm joking. Please, go ahead.
Anyways, okay. 4 issues in, the Johnny Quest comic is an absolute joy. And from Dynamite, I'm absolutely loving this. They had a really clever way to bring instead, they've tried to reboot Johnny Quest a number of times. They basically brought him through a time rift to the present day. So you have like Johnny Quest and his crew with 60s sensibilities dealing with stuff in the present day. Okay. But time is kind of broken. So there's also a Johnny Quest who's aged normally in this same reality.
Nice.
So it's very cool. And he's basically being mentored by himself, who's made a lot of bad decisions. But it's really good. And probably the best Johnny Quest thing since Johnny Quest.
I didn't know a Johnny Quest comic was out. Thank you very much. I'm going to have to get that.
You have to go find it. Yeah.
Anyone else have a favorite comic book? You're allowed to jump in of this year.
I haven't bought any new comic books, although I think we talked about it on the air. I have been actively buying all the Marvel Star Wars comics, original ones from the 70s and 80s, and I'm probably a third of the way through the whole run at this point.
Did you start reading your birthday gift yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
See, I buy a lot of comics. I'm buying all the new G.I. Joe Universe ones from Skybound. I haven't cracked them yet. And I buy all the Marvel Star Wars. I have my
Alien Romulus I haven't read either.
The new Marvel Star Wars comics. I just haven't read them yet. They're in those boxes back there, back somewhere on the shelf to read. So I can't comment on this one as much as it kills me. But thank you, Todd. That's great. Johnny Quest comic.
Okay. Coming back around. Barry, you're up.
All right. Since I did favorite new show, I think I'll go with favorite returning show. And for me, this was a tough one, but we were just talking about it. I'm going to go with Shrinking Season 2 because it's probably the show I look forward to the most, at least right now.
It's great. It's just great.
It's a really good show. And Harrison, I mean, I love Harrison Ford, and I watch anything he's in pretty much. But this is like the best Harrison Ford acting I've ever seen.
So I'm sorry, Barry, I keep calling you out. I don't think he's acting.
I don't think he's acting either.
Performance, whatever you want to call it.
I don't think there's a bit of acting involved in this show.
The only acting is that he's, pretending that Parkinson's.
I think he's just reading the line. He's just showing up and reading because I think this is Harrison Ford right now.
I think he's a
grumpy,
gruff
funny.
growler.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as funny as this character is, though. Okay. So I think the humor part.
Yep.
But he's great. I mean, the whole cast is great.
Everyone in that show is great.
They are.
Everyone
the
is great.
Is off the charts. I agree.
They're all terrific. But
I've got a very high-ranking honorable mention that I'll wait for, but because it may be Todd, so I don't want to steal it from him.
But Harrison Ford, when the subject of babies came up, Harrison Ford said, or whatever, babies are assholes, and I thoroughly agree with that. And thankfully, somebody finally said that.
The,
There's a
the
baby on
daughter,
this week's episode, and he told the baby to go fuck itself. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's a psychologist.
the daughter on that show is amazing. I have to say, it's like it centers around her, you know, in the relationship with.
They're all
the
great.
dad.
I mean,
everybody's good.
Jason is just super talented. He's done so many different things. He's awesome.
really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Who's next? Is
You.
Brian?
Ghost, the U.S. version of Ghost.
Brian.
That's the show I look forward to the most.
Really, I watched.
I know you guys don't watch
I
it.
guess
but
I just haven't
Ghost.
given it a chance. I mean,
I think it's funny. I agree.
Is it
Yeah.
Ghost or is it Ghost?
very funny show. It's a sitcom.
Ghosts
It's an
with
actual
a-
sitcom.
Ghost.
It's actually fun.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the U.S. version,
The U.S. version, yeah,
the network one.
Yeah, the UK version's wrapped up. The U.S. version is starting their third season, I think.
Ghosts.
I watched maybe 3 episodes of it, and I didn't dislike it, but I just watched nothing on network television. I don't know why.
Well, every week when I watch Survivor, and yes,
Oh
I
my
still
God.
watch Survivor, and I still love
Finale
it. They have the finale is tomorrow, Wednesday night.
Wednesday.
They have a commercial for Ghosts in every episode, and it's a unique commercial talking about Survivor, and it's the characters from Ghost.
Oh, that's funny.
That's as
Oh,
much
that
as I've
is-
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the ghosts all watch television.
Yeah, they talk about watching Survivor in the commercials.
Oh, that's funny. Brian? Oh, you said Ghosts? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, me. I would never think this would be my choice. I got to say Lioness. That freaking show kicked ass this year. I know, Barry, you're not caught up, right?
Well, no, so I made Maria stop watching it so that I could get caught up, and then we'll watch it together. So she's only 3 or 4 episodes in, so I'm going to try to catch up this weekend.
Boy, I mean, just in terms of, and I know I'd like a good shoot 'em up. The gear, the way these guys are doing stuff is just, it's great. I'm surprised I'm even saying that.
It's excellent. It is I actually wrote it in at one point, and then it's my second choice at this point. And
Yeah.
it's
And
absolutely
season
awesome.
2, season 1 was very good. Season 2 was better.
Yeah. And it kind of cumulative. You're seeing the cost of what they're going through. You're seeing the impact that it has on these people. It's not just like, you get shot and then you heal up and then you jump back in the game. These people are getting messed up.
Yeah, for sure. It's really, really, really well done. Derryl?
So Lioness is at Paramount Plus. Thing.
Yes.
Yep. So we don't have that, but makes me want to get it. So my favorite, or actually I should say our favorite returning show, because it's the show that Patty and I, like the minute it debuts, we really want to watch it. It's Slow Horses. We just love Slow Horses.
I forgot about Slow Horses.
Just the greatest show. So without question, our favorite for returning show.
Yeah. It's a good call. Good call, Daryl.
Todd.
Okay. Also absolutely love Slow Horses. I'm going to go with Evil. This is their last 4 of 5 seasons.
That's awesome.
4 seasons over 5 years. It's the last time I'll ever get to mention it. It was a great show from start to finish,
It was my honorable mention, but I had a feeling it was going to be yours, so I didn't want to say it. Yeah, it's
so good,
crazy good.
They got what every canceled series should get. They got 5 extra episodes to wrap up, and they did it classy and did it well and resolved all the storylines, but also left potential to get back together at some point. And like I said, just great from start to finish. This is a show that never should have succeeded. It didn't belong on network TV. They moved it from CBS to Paramount when Paramount launched, and we got three really good seasons out of it because of that. So yeah.
And I didn't think Michael Emerson could ever do a character better than Ben Linus from Lost.
Oh my
but
God!
his character in this show,
he is
blows it away.
Yeah, so incredibly despicable. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Any other honorable mentions? Shrinking.
I'll throw Only Murders in the Building was really good this season, I thought.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's always good.
And I got to go Resident Alien is also, it's consistently good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I liked
Right, Brian.
I liked House of the Dragon. I may be in the minority there.
No, I
No,
like
I
House
was
of the
enjoying
Dragon.
that.
I wouldn't put it on my top.
Yeah.
Yep.
3,
I look
but
forward
I liked
to it.
it.
And
Yeah, I look forward
Rings
to it.
Rings of Power. Surprisingly, I haven't finished it yet, but each episode is surprisingly amazing. Really
Yep,
good.
that kind of fell off my list as I started adding things to it. It was on there at one point, but it was really good, solid, and they're working on season 3 from what I hear.
Cool. Brian?
I'm going to go with most significant happening slash event in the in the nerd world, and I'm going to go with Star Trek Unification.
Interesting.
The thing really hit with a bomb on the internet. Every Facebook feed I had was talking about it, and trying to figure out what it meant, which was my favorite part.
Yes.
But that affected everybody who saw it.
No, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
Awesomely ambiguous. Yep.
I gotta go with this. There's other things that I like, but I gotta the Ruby Slipper auction. This guy would be the most significant. I mean, it's so funny. And Barry, I finally finished listening to the live show where they props podcast stuff your dreams are made of. They went through the whole catalog, and they had one of the guys who runs the auctions for Heritage on. Long story short, so they go through the whole catalog. At the end of the show, before the auction, obviously, they all give their prediction for what they think the Ruby Slippers are going to go for. And the guy from Heritage says $4.2 million. And the two other guys, one says 5, the other one says 7, and they went for $33 million. So it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's incredibly significant. So that was mine. Derryl?
I think Heritage taking over the prop auctions of the world this year was just amazing. My answer was, or what I had written down was the Game of Thrones auction.
Okay.
But I also thought about the Ruby Slippers auction, and then I thought, well, the Ruby Slippers aren't really in our genre of prop stuff, but Game of Thrones was. And
would you take them if someone gave them to you?
If someone gave them to me, yes.
Would you buy them for $1 million?
No. Well,
knowing you can sell them for 30,
if I can fence it for 33,
25,
sure.
30.
I wouldn't be stupid to do that. But no. They had so many other things covered. They had the best Magic card art auctions I've seen, the best wacky package card auctions.
They really are doing the right thing.
They had that Power Rangers prop auction, which was insane if you're a Power Rangers fan. And the fact they got Hasbro to do that when I won't go into details about other things that Hasbro may have, but they just ran the table this year. I think from the Greg Jean auction up through now, they've just been absolutely on
they've
fire.
been killing it for sure.
Yeah,
they've been killing it. So I think Heritage, like getting all the attention, has been huge. So good choice.
Todd.
Okay, so I'm going to push back on this. I'm going to say
the Beatles.
The Beatles. Deadpool,
not a movie.
Wolverine.
Okay.
Not as a movie. Not as a movie.
All right.
I love it.
But this is the year. Last year was the year they declared the superhero movie dead. Okay? And this proved that you could still clean up at the box office. You could still put something out there that people wanted to see, deliver on it. It is proof of life for superhero films, that whole genre, when it's done well.
Yep.
And the movie itself notwithstanding, they delivered in every possible way, but also got on a $200 million budget, made a ton of money, and should have. So as an event, it definitely changed the conventional wisdom.
Screw you, naysayers.
And to the point where I was just going to say, to the point where they're now saying they may make another Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Where that was supposed to be.
And why would they not? It's like, okay, we have this printing press. We've got these dollar printing plates. We have the paper. We have the ink. Do we want to? Yes, you want to.
It's only a matter of how long Hugh Jackman can do this.
They can keep him going for you. They're already putting cybernetic parts in him.
Let's see. How can we do it better? Deadpool versus Wolverine versus Spider-Man. Now,
Yep.
the possibilities are endless.
No, versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla would be nice.
Alien. No. Then the really bad one is Deadpool Wolverine 7, which is going to be Deadpool Wolverine versus Aliens. That's when they're really hitting the.
That'd be a cool movie.
No, I'm sorry.
Disney owns Fox now, so
love to
why
see
not?
that.
Predator versus Predator. That's when they're really going to just run
They
out
should
the
throw the
clock.
Predator in there. That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Barry,
I hopefully this fits in this category,
if you
but
say the Beatles, I'm going to turn it.
it's not the Beatles. I have to say that them casting Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, it's either a significant happening in the nerd world, or it's going to be a disaster. And I don't think we really know yet, obviously.
leaning
but
towards
I
disaster.
just think the hype that they have gotten out of that was a pretty significant thing, because we're all talking about what the hell was Marvel going to do and how do they right the ship, and then they go and they cast him in this role, and it gets so much attention. And if they don't hit a home run on this, it's maybe worse than if they had never cast him.
Yeah.
I don't see how they could hit a home run with this. It could be either a disaster or whatever. I think those are the only two choices.
So here's my thing, and I've been thinking about this a lot since this came out. Okay, what actor do you take a risk on? Okay, look at the Kang situation. Okay, they ended up with an actor who was toxic. Okay, it's like, people were banking, had Kevin Spacey movies in pre-production. Okay, if you're gonna plan 5 years out, you need to have somebody that you can absolutely promise is going to be there, is still going to be there, is going to be a draw, and is going to get people in if only for curiosity. And I think in some ways it was actually a safe thing to do.
Or you put a mask on it like the Mandalorian.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of actors. Not every actor.
They're basically paying him as a voice actor at this point. So
yeah, we'll see. I just hope it's not. It could go bad. It could really go bad.
Yep, it could. But
but they've got such a track record.
Well, they have a bad track record now.
They have
the
a
problem.
track record going both ways.
a
That's
mixed
problem.
record. So
Yeah, who knows?
No, I mean a track record with the actor.
yes,
Yeah, but he's Tony Stark. You don't. If you took Jeremy Renner, it almost would make more sense because he's not as important to that franchise.
But here's the irony of this. Okay, Jon Favreau could not get production insurance for Iron Man because Robert Downey Jr. was such a wild card. The insurance companies didn't expect him to be able to complete the film. So he did that film without insurance. Okay. He filmed all his scenes first so that he could go off on a bender.
So are we saying here that
no, but I'm
Robert Downey Jr. is an unknown after 30 Marvel films?
I'm saying he went from being the big risk to the safest choice possible.
I don't think he's going to screw it up. I just think the idea may screw it up.
It's ironic from 2008, where, like I said, they basically had a plan to finish the film without him. We're gonna build the next tentpole around him. It's crazy.
You never know. Anyone have honorable mentions? I mean, Derryl was talking about. We had the Planet Hollywood auction this year, which I thought was I think was really more significant as a whole than the Ruby Slippers, but the Ruby Slippers are pretty significant to the prop collecting world. So, but the Planet Hollywood auction was the Greg Jean of 2020.
The Ruby Slippers transcend the prop collecting world, and it's just as far as any kind of collecting, I think that they got so much notoriety on that auction just off of, like we said, they're the most recognizable thing from probably any movie ever. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, no, you're right, Dave. I got my first prop costumes from Planet Hollywood, and so did friends of ours get things from Planet Hollywood auction. That was a great auction. Thanks for reminding me. I guess in a year of amazing auctions, that the fact that one didn't bubble to top of mind.
Yeah, there was a lot of big auctions.
Kind of speaks to what a year it's been.
Yeah. All right, I'm going. Let's see. Did I do a write-in last? I did do a write-in. I'm going to say, let's go to the top of the list. And we've talked a little bit, favorite movie. Again, I had to look. There's a lot of movies I did not see. I don't think there's any. I didn't miss anything. And unless Craven is the most amazing movie when it comes out, I'm going with Deadpool and Wolverine. Safe choice, but it was. We talked about it. Did everything it needed to do. It was fun. It was great. It was awesome. Can't beat that movie. Derryl?
All right. That is my choice as well. I think I was smiling like a Joker victim the entire movie. I don't think I ever stopped. It was so brilliantly written from beginning to end. I loved it. That's my choice too.
Todd?
I'm going to go with Alien Romulus because I went in with such low expectations and was so blown away. I went into Deadpool Wolverine with very high expectations, and I think they exceeded the high expectations I had. But Alien Romulus, to me, after so many swings and misses in that franchise, just really, really delivered. And
that was my second choice. Yeah, I agree. And I agree.
Really looking forward to watching it again. And I have seen Daredevil and Wolverine twice. I'm looking forward to seeing Alien Romulus.
haven't seen Daredevil. I was waiting.
Daredevil and Wolverine?
Sorry. Got Daredevil in the brain. Okay. That'll come later. Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine.
I did get my 4K copy of Alien Romulus earlier than January 4th, only a month late that they claimed it was coming. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Who's next? Barry?
I think me. Yeah. I didn't see a lot of movies this year. I went through the list of movies that were released, and I'm like, I really didn't see a lot. My top two, Alien Romulus and Deadpool. And I think Alien Romulus ekes it out over Deadpool for the exact same reason that you guys said. Like, I was dubious about it, but I heard good things, and I went to see it, and I was really and I've talked about it, even with the crappy experience I had in the theater because I didn't see it at a great theater. The movie was way better than I could have possibly expected. So I am also looking forward to rewatching it in a better environment. But I love Deadpool and Wolverine, so it was a really hard choice between the two. But
it's nice to have two really good choices.
Yeah, and all right. Well, Brian will go, and then I'll throw out my honorable mention. Are you muted, Brian?
You're muted.
You're muted, Brian.
I'm muted. My dog was barking. Sorry.
We love the dogs barking. Yeah. Leave them in.
Leave them in. I love Deadpool and Wolverine. I was very excited coming out of it, but the movie I was most excited coming out of was Saturday Night.
Oh yeah,
you mentioned really, really good movie. The pace was.
I saw it as well, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
cool. That was my number 4.
I don't think I saw 4 movies in the theater.
I don't know that I did either.
Well, there's only one other movie.
I went back and forth.
Only other movie I would even give as an honorable mention was Dune Part 2.
Yes, I agree with you, Bear.
I'm not able to do that.
That's my third choice, but also maybe the third movie I saw this year. So
I did see in the theaters. I saw The Fall Guy, which
that didn't make your list, Dave.
No, it wasn't bad. It was fun.
I saw that too. It was entertaining.
It was entertaining. I'm not looking for anything from it. I will say, I had wanted to go see this movie in the theaters, Red One, a Santa Claus movie.
Yeah.
That's my ring going off that you probably hear. I read the reviews. The Rotten Tomatoes was not great at all. And I'm like, I'm not going to say it. So it just came out on Prime, and we watched it Friday night.
Yeah,
it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The audience scores are great for that.
Yeah,
are they?
We're going to watch that. I think we're going to watch that Christmas Eve.
They're really good.
It's a fun movie. Yeah.
I'm happy because we've watched a lot of Christmas movies, the new ones. Some are good, some are really not good, but I had a good time with that. I thoroughly recommend it.
Nice.
Good. Yeah, like I said, I think that we're already planning to watch that Christmas Eve.
And so who saw it? Brian, you saw it?
Yep.
And Derryl, did you see it? You didn't see it?
No, but I want to.
I need a Garcia action figure.
Patty doesn't want to see it because it looks like a dumb action movie, which is what it is. But
there's a lot of heart to it, I think, for what it is.
Yeah, maybe she'll watch it with me.
It was good. Anyway, any other honorable mentions for movies?
No, but I underscored Dune. I think everybody does, right?
Yeah. I could take or leave it. Too much sand. I hate sand. It gets in everything.
It gets in
Rough
everything.
and course.
It's rough and course, gets in everything.
Derryl, you're up.
I'm up. Let me see. Let's mix it up. Let's start the collectibles thing going. I'm going to go for favorite action figure under $100.
Okay.
And my choice is going to be kind of expansive. It's the entire Superpowers line, which every figure is way under $100. They're like $15,
Yep.
maybe, or less.
And they are cool.
They give me such a thrill, and the fact that McFarlane is doing, they're dancing around the edges of the original Superpowers line. But look at that. Todd's showing us something.
I don't know what it is.
Todd's
Is
showing
that-
his
he's
microphone
showing us
Whirly
his,
bat. Whirly bat.
his
sitting
mount,
Whirly
his
bat.
mic mount.
The whirly bat. And do you have both colors of the whirly bat? There's a blue and a black one.
Yeah, I went with the traditional blue.
Yep. So I've got them both. Love them, and it just brings me a lot of smiles. These are action figures. Don't need to be overcomplicated. They don't need tons of articulation. They just need to be nice homages to those comic characters. And they're making stuff like the Charlton characters, the classic Peacemaker and Judo Master.
Yep.
Like I never in my wildest dreams thought that they would be there. But importantly, they perfectly mesh with the originals. So the collections to me are just separated in time by 40 years.
What they're doing is analogous to Mego. Okay. They're taking figures that were never made, making them in the same style. And it's, it's low detail. Everyone's proportionately exactly the same size. It's but they're really, really cool.
Yep.
So
exactly.
I think I'm going to get the JSA characters.
Yep. I can't, they're sold out everywhere, but I think it's just the pre-sale.
Yep. So
that's my favorite under $100.
Yep.
Todd.
So I'm going to go, shockingly, I'm going to go with a Moon Knight figure. I almost didn't know this existed until I got it, but I bought the amazing Yamaguchi Moon Knight from the early 2000s, and it's just amazing. It's got like 7,000 joints in it, and you can put it in every single possible position. I just found one loose out of a box, and so I bought a second one. Because I play with this thing so much, I'm sure I'm going to break it at some point. And just really, really cool. I have every licensed Moon Knight figure made.
And some unlicensed ones.
And some unlicensed ones. And I'm facing a dilemma with that right now.
Yes, you are.
But I'll say more about that later. But so let's go. And then there's also, I mentioned this just last week, I think. There was the Strange Tales Moonlight came out, which was based on the kind of Egyptian version, which I never thought they'd make an action figure of. So, which is kind of cool. So it filled in a little gap in my Moon Knight shelf. So, anybody else got a?
Barry, you would be next if you have one.
Yep, I'll be next. Similar to what you guys are saying about superpowers, and I've actually got mine in my hand. It's the retro Mon Mothma figure.
Yep.
Which is 5 points of articulation. When they started releasing the vintage Star Wars figures, as a person who's spent many, many years collecting those, I'm not a huge fan of them just reissuing the exact same vintage figures. But this is exactly what I want to see them do. I want to see them create characters that fit in with the vintage aesthetic that they never released. And it's funny because this came in a box set of 6 figures. It was $50 or something like that. This figure is now selling for over $100.
Wow.
So it's no longer a figure under $100. But when I bought it, it was like $10. Yeah. I just checked eBay. It's like $130 for this figure now.
I've got them all too, Barry. Love the retro collection. It's just so good, and for all the reasons you said, it's just they remind me of the original Kenner figures. What's
disappointing for me about it is they've probably released 50, 60 figures at this point, but only 3 are figures from the original trilogy that were never made. They just announced a box set, though. Yeah. That's 5 of the 6 figures are all brand new sculpts of characters from the original trilogy that they never released before. So that I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Rebel Trooper,
coming out.
Sand Trooper, all those.
Yeah, it's a Rebel Fleet Trooper, Han Solo in a Stormtrooper costume, Luke with the ceremonial medal,
They
Sand
never made
Trooper,
that?
and they never made that. And Dr. Evazan they're doing. And then there's also a Walrus Man in there,
Evesian?
which is Evesian, whatever he is. Yeah.
No, I said
Dr.
that
Evazan.
wrong last week. It's
I think
Evazan.
it's Evazan, yeah.
It is.
So yeah, so I hope they do more characters like this to fill out the vintage, characters that they never did back in the original line.
I think
that, to me,
they
is what's exciting.
understand and the fact that they're doing this batch that has so many new figures shows me that they're sensitive to the fact that they don't get the same excitement when they just retread the original characters. They've done a lot of the originals now, but I think people want to see newness now just to go with their existing characters.
Where they really started treading the line for me, and in this same box set that Mon Mothma came in, they also re-released Yak Face, which was a very expensive figure to buy a real vintage one. And if they're going to start releasing those types of figures that really are, hundreds of dollars each, it really, for me, I have them all, so it's not like I'm concerned about that. But it makes it really hard. I mean, it's so rare now that you can buy any of this stuff in person. So if you buy so much of what you buy online, it makes it really hard to know what you're buying if it's a loose figure, whether it's real or not, until you actually get it in your hands. That's the part of it that I don't really.
Well, you just ask them what the trademarks line says. That's all. And that way you can figure it out. So I'm super excited about these new characters that they're releasing.
Okay, Brian?
Mego Ultraman.
I've got that one too.
I got him at Rhode Island Comic Con, and
it's a cool figure.
He's awesome. Yeah, Mego. The new Mego figures are just great.
Yeah.
But Mego to me is so hit or miss too, because some of them you look at them and you're like, oh my god, it's amazing, and then some of them you're like, oh my god, it's so terrible.
Yeah,
you gotta look at it's so much better buying a Mego when you can pick it up and hold it and look at it. Because some of that, like the seams are misaligned and there's just,
they're a mess sometimes.
That stuff drives me crazy in the package. That like the collar's up over his shoulder, and it's like
It's amazing how they're still so inexpensive though. Like so I understand why there's some of those types of issues, because they're only at $15 to $20 figures, and you would think they would be way more money.
Well, I'm passing on that. I didn't buy an action figure under $100. So let's go, Todd. Let's just since the listening public got to hear the rules, they're going to hear some of the commentary. We're coming up on an hour, just so we know. So we may want to just speed it up a little.
Okay, let's maybe skip honorable mentions. Okay.
No, those are the best part.
That's no fun.
Oh, honorable mentions. Yeah, I hear you. But let's keep going.
Okay. Favorite animated property, film or TV? There were a number of really good things this year that I'm not going to talk about in the interest of time, but I'm going to say X-Men 97 was awesome. So much better than I expected. They took the animation style and the story style from the original series back in 97, updated it for a modern adult audience, and just went to town, and it's amazing. It's utterly amazing.
I think I go next, right?
Yeah.
This was tough for me, but I'm going to go with Lower Decks, Star Trek Lower Decks.
Yeah.
So you didn't pass on.
It's just been great.
Even though it was tough.
I have the same one, Lower Decks.
I feel like, did everyone pass on some things?
No, you're the first one to pass just now.
No, I'm saying on your list. You shouldn't have filled out 20 answers.
Oh, I have a bunch of passes, sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
Passes.
Brian,
I'm passing. And I'll just say about Lower Decks, this season, I literally love how every episode Boimler's beard gets a little bit more full.
I'm not caught up. It's still scraggly on my.
and
he's trying to grow a beard. It's hilarious to me. The continuity is great from episode to episode.
The multiverse episode that we just had was one of those brilliant things. There's nothing that goes deep Trek like this show, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And the fact that
they gave us animated T'Pol. Come on.
I'm not done yet. Stop.
They can grab all of these Star Trek actors who have aged out of ever being able to play the roles again and bring them back is fantastic. Yeah. So that's not
all right. Brian, you went already. You're claiming, right?
I
said no. Brian went. I passed. Derryl.
Oh, Right.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. It was Bad Batch this year. I had Bad Batch ? I couldn't remember.
Bad Batch was this.
The season finale.
Yeah.
It
It ended this year.
Yeah, that's
Fair
that's my choice. Great,
Yep.
great season.
A great
Enough
choice.
said.
Barry, we're back to you. It doesn't seem
No, we
right,
skipped Todd.
but
I did-
no. Todd started this.
Todd started that one.
this. Oh,
right?
okay. All right.
All right. I'm going to go favorite tool, gadget, or gizmo.
There you
And
go.
I am going to blame Brian for this. And it's not what you think, Brian. I know
Oh.
what you think I'm going to say the reciprocating sander because you were there when I bought it,
Oh,
but I'm not
okay.
going to say that.
You're not going to say that.
Brian shamed me at Rhode Island Comic Con over my wallet, which he called a Costanza wallet.
You do have a Costanza wallet. I
don't
wasn't there when you
anymore.
said that.
I now have this double oak fancy wallet with the credit card thing.
Oh, look at
And
that.
it's because Brian made me feel bad about my Costanza wallet.
But
This is my
it's-
favorite new gadget.
The thing with the Costanza wallet.
Good job, Brian.
Yeah.
I think you do. Do you ever carry your wallet in your back pocket though?
Always.
You do. How do you sit on that? That was
Well, if I'm like on a long car ride, I'll take it out of my
see.
pocket.
Then you
but
could forget your wallet.
I like this one a lot. It's got a place for actual money, not like a strap, because I don't like having money strapped to the back of my wallet. So it's got a small pouch for actual cash, but it's got the slot with the credit card
That's pretty
slider.
cool. Yeah.
My
really nice.
chiropractor 25 years ago told me
Yeah.
your spine is out of line because of your big wallet.
Yes, it's a
It's
thing.
And that's
bad
when
for
I
your
stopped.
back. For
So
sure.
I am no longer carrying half the things I was carrying,
There
and
you go.
I'm now down to the bare minimum, and it's all thanks to you, Brian.
All right. All right. So my favorite gizmo, I already talked about on the show once, is my my new power solder sucker. Which is what Barry
Oh, yeah,
thought
you
you
did
were gonna
talk about
say. Yeah. Yeah. It's a solder sucker that heats itself up, and you hit the button, and it sucks the solder up, and it has saved many boards and components for me. So that's my favorite gizmo with the solder sucker. Dave,
It's
you're up.
me. I went to go get mine, and I did not do this on the show. I have this. It's called Newer. It's an LED light panel. Now, as Todd and I have been photographing things for we've been through a ton of different lights.
Ooh,
And
Johnny headlight.
We had I had these giant soft lights.
Yep.
But I need to photograph a bunch of stuff for potential new businesses next year. And this thing is amazing. It's this thin, it weighs nothing. It's battery operated. It's
Oh, I need these.
I do too.
look at how bright it is. Look at
Okay.
Wow.
I need a link to that, Dave.
Is it rechargeable batteries or
rechargeable.
Okay.
It's amazing. This
need
is like that
these.
thing from Star Trek. But obviously they make a ton of these.
Well, does it change color temperature as well?
It changes color and temperatures, yeah. Yeah, and it has a little thing on the back that has the
Oh, look at that.
intensity and the color temperature.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh wow, that's
But
cool.
I bought it on
Oh.
sale on Amazon for about $50, $45. It's funny. It's one of the only things that over Christmas went up in price because I wanted to get a second one.
Yeah. Send me a link to that because I'm
Yeah.
putting together my Christmas list, and that's great.
I need to
But-
build a photo studio this year. That's
Oh,
great.
nice. I got to do the same thing. I want to take pictures of stuff, but I have so many freaking lights. These soft lights that take up so much room. I'm like, these are, and there's a lot of companies now. Newer is one of these companies that's cheaper than a lot of others, but decent quality stuff. It's all Chinese anyway, right?
Yeah.
They're all from China. But I've had some of their other stuff, so that's cool. Yeah, I'll send you that link.
Awesome.
Who's next? Whoever's next. Derryl.
I'm not as high tech as you guys. I was just going to say, this is the first year that I've used an air fryer. Got it for Christmas last year, and it is awesome. It's I love to cook, and it is life changing for a lot of stuff like crispy chicken. Makes awesome wings, Brussels sprouts. It has saved time, and a lot of hassle. So air fryers, awesome.
Cool.
Nice.
Todd?
So mine is this was a Dave thing. Mine's my Neptune 4 Pro, which is just awesome. It's not super complicated. It works great. It's done everything I need. I love doing 3D design stuff, and I can take something like this little spaceship I just kind of pulled out of my head the other day, played with it and made it in class, designed it, and went home and printed it, and it's just cool. So
wow, that's
nice.
Neptune 4 Pro is a 3D printer.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And
Obviously,
so
it's a resin 3D printer.
No, it's not. That's not resin.
Straight.
That's
3D
filament.
printer.
That's a filament print.
Yeah, it's actually really, really good. Yeah, it's really good. And this one's a little. I did this fast, but it's great. And I'll tell you, I cannot use that thing for like 3 or 4 weeks at a time. Just fire it up, and it's perfect.
That's what's great about it. My old one was annoying. The leveling and all that crap.
The leveling, all that kind of stuff. And this is just great. And Dave gave me a couple tips about things to do with it, or how to like always use the little sticky paste thing and it works perfect every time. So
yeah, 3D printers are cheap now. People,
it's cheap.
Time to get into them.
And it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So
yeah, cool. Okay, Brian, you're up. You're around.
I am going to go with a controversial topic. Least favorite film of 2024, Dune Part 2.
Nice.
Ooh.
They changed the ending from I think I don't know if I talked about this on the show or not, but I went from one of those people who didn't know what Dune was and hated the movies because I didn't understand them to someone who read the book. It is now really pissed off when they make the movie and they change something from the book. So I went from one spectrum to the other, but they changed the ending of the movie. And part 1 was great. Part 2 was really going well until the end. And it's like, I'm so disappointed.
There's also a lot of compression in there that is just, yeah.
Yeah, I walked out of that movie very disappointed.
Yeah. I like it, but you have to be far from the book to like it. Because you're right. There's a lot of things they changed, and it's yeah. I think
I haven't read the book since I was a kid, so I don't really have a lot of detail. Concepts I remember, but details I don't have in my head.
Yeah, some things they did very, very well, but some things were just very short shrift. So visually, absolutely stunning though. So
Yep.
Dave, what was your least favorite film?
Mine is, and I didn't see a ton of movies, Rebel Moon Part 2. That was just, it was the worst thing I saw this year.
I didn't see it because a bunch of these guys on a podcast warned me off it.
It's awful. And I have a thing next to it, but I'll wait for everyone else to go.
I'm going to skip this. I'm going to skip this category.
Okay. Todd?
Okay. Joker 2. I refuse.
You saw that?
I refuse to use the pretentious French title. It's just terrible. It's just utterly terrible. I have watched every Batman and every Batman adjacent film, so I had to do it. This was a slap in the face of everyone who liked the first film. It was basically like, we got away with all this stuff, and now we're just going to see how far we can take it. And I cannot understand how the same people were involved in these two films. I really don't. They took probably the most influential Batman character created in the last 30 years and totally misused it. You totally misused the character. And then they made the entire thing. Yeah. Again,
do you think Lady Gaga said that, talked to all the first producers on Joker and said, I want to be involved in the next one. And then gravity bent around
there's
her?
There's gotta be a story here. I do not get it, but it was a terrible take on Harley Quinn. And I just put it this way. This is the year that we saw them take the Penguin and make the most extraordinary spin on that. Okay. For them to take this and just lay this turd is mind blowing. It's just utterly mind blowing.
I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's on Max now, so anybody who didn't want to pay for
I will
it,
not.
That's how I saw it,
no
and I had to
what.
finish it today before we recorded. But
I don't like to watch bad movies.
It's
I'm
every
watching
bit
it.
as bad. It's every bit as bad as people say. And I I did like the first film. I really did. And yeah.
Barry?
I passed on this category.
Okay.
But my honorable mention for worst favorite movie, if I were to participate, would have been Argyle. I thought it was bad.
Also, I
I
did not
thought Argyle was nowhere near as good as it should have been.
Yes.
I said my note was Rebel Moon 2 worse than Madam Web.
I'll never know.
My category. Here we go. Favorite item you added to your collection. That was tough. I did add a lot of original props this year. I was very happy to do that. But I got to go with from the Planet Hollywood auction, my original Planet of the Apes chimp costume.
Which is a fantastic display in your basement.
Yes,
I got to see it on the way to a show, and it was
I have yet
fabulous.
to put mine on a mannequin. Damn it.
Yeah, it is spectacular.
My speakers aren't. Don't say that word in my house.
Oh.
Yeah, don't say that word.
You're not allowed to say the M
We
word.
worked through them being in the basement now,
That's
which
funny.
was good.
Yep.
Thanks to the cat.
Yep.
A whole long story, but Derryl.
My favorite was
Wait, let me. I can't just say the words Derryl. I have to say, favorite thing you added to your collection, and here is a human being who's got more collections and more things than anyone else we know.
Daryl's
So
a super collector.
this has got to
Yes.
be significant. And
I
I
thought
hope it's not.
I thought I had 12 collections I was like trying to be complete on. Then I counted them, and it's actually sadly it's more. And this is after I've let some go. But
What have you let go? This I know we're running long, but this deserves what you've
This is
let a collection
fascinating.
go.
Well, a couple years ago, I let my Major Matt Mason collection go, and I kind of regret that. But I wasn't going to complete it. But anyway, this year I picked up a Disneyland poster I didn't have, and there are a few of those now. But the Main Street Railroad poster from Van Eaton Gallery.
Oh, nice.
So very thrilled about
I've
that,
been-
and the wife is thrilled too because that's the one collection we co-collect together, and she likes to curate the walls like every couple of years we rotate the posters around. So
Nice. That's
happy
something
wife, happy life.
I've bid on those 3 times this year, and I have not been successful because I'm not. I just want one. But anyway, Todd.
Barry, when did you give me the shuttlecraft?
It was this year.
Okay, yes, the shuttlecraft that Barry built and gave me. I have 6 Barry constructs in my house, and this is in contention to be the favorite, but it's absolutely one of my favorite things. It gives me great joy. That's why you can see it up in the top there, right there,
There it is. Yeah.
and it's absolutely beautiful.
Nice.
And like I said, it just just gives me great joy. So
Well, thank you. And I have to say, I was thrilled with how that one came out. And the only reason that it's now at your house is because I'm going to build another one.
with the interior,
They came out with an updated kit with an interior. So when I bought that kit, I passed the first version on to Todd. But I thank you very much. That makes me happy to hear that.
Yep.
All right, I guess it's me. No surprise to anybody, it's my original Death Star tile from Star Wars.
Oh
Yay.
yeah, good call.
You can't pan your camera to see it, can you? Or is it on the
No,
opposite
but
wall?
I'll send you. I know I sent you some of you a picture. I don't know if I sent everybody, but it's officially on the wall.
I want to
in
see
its
it on the
display.
wall. Yeah,
Yeah,
take a wide shot.
I will. Yeah, Tom Spina made a display case for me, and it looks great. And I'm super happy with the way it
Oh
came
yeah,
out. So,
you gotta send pics.
Cool,
yeah,
cool. Brian,
will do.
It's kind of genre. It's from the Greg Jean 2 auction. I told the story on the show, the high altitude Navy helmet. The space helmet I got from Greg Jean. It was a long story of me finding it years ago, and then now I own it. It's just the best.
That's great.
awesome. All right, Derryl, next round.
Let's go favorite action figure over 100. So we run the categories. And my favorite is, I'm going to get the box for it.
Oh boy.
It is
Oh,
the Star Speeder 3000.
That's not an action figure.
There are 2 action figures.
figures adjacent.
That works.
Actually, there are 4 action figures in it because
Yeah.
it comes with loose and carded versions of R2 and Captain Rex.
That's awesome.
Loose and carded.
That's
Yeah,
collector friendly right there. You
That's
don't
a
have to
collector,
take
for
one's
sure.
off its
Collector friendly. The Disney parks would bitch slap you across the face, and you were just there, Dave. So, my buddy John Balin picked this up for me at D23 because even though I was in Southern California, I couldn't get a ticket for it. And I opened it only a month ago when Dylan was here on a visit, my son Dylan, and because I wanted to kind of enjoy that together. It is every bit as awesome as is promised and as people have reviewed on the web. It's got videos inside of practically the entire
that's cool.
The entire tour on an LCD screen, and the lights that go off, syncopated with the action on the screen.
That's
it almost brought me to tears. It is amazing.
I've watched YouTube reviews of it, and it I mean, I'm glad I didn't buy one because I don't have the space to display it, but I wish I had one.
That doesn't stop Derryl.
That's going to cost me some money.
I sent kudos to the team, and because I know the guys at the Disney parks who make a lot of the merch, and I said, "This is a mic drop masterpiece. Great job, fellas." So,
awesome.
And this isn't really a spoiler of any kind. That ship makes a cameo in the corner of the screen in episode 3 of Skeleton Crew.
Yep.
Cool. Todd.
So I'm going to go with my second Moon Knight reference, the Gentle Moon. Okay,
Right.
The Gentle
this is a knockoff. It's by So Toys, worst name ever. It is freaking awesome. Okay, so the fabric is kind of like almost like a waxy kind of feel to it. So the wrinkles are perfect. So it actually, the suit on this thing, so it's a Mr. Knight character from Moon Knight. The suit and the clothing drapes like better than any other figure that I've got wearing a suit. It looks like a person wearing a suit. So you've got actual wrinkles in the at the elbows and at the knees where it's the way it should be. Really, really well done. Hot Toys just released their own version of this, which in the prototype pictures does not look anywhere near as good. So, will I buy one anyways? Yes, probably I will. But this thing is absolutely amazing, and astonishingly, despite the fact that I got several Hot Toys figures, it is my favorite figure of the year. So
cool.
And I think we know from experience that when Hot Toys releases it, it will look better than those prototype.
It will
pictures.
Absolutely, but
most
boy,
likely,
I tell you, to put something out that doesn't look as good as the knockoff, and I'll say this thing is absolutely Hot Toys quality in terms of the face sculpt and the accessories and everything, and just really, really, and it's a lot of fabric and a lot of very difficult patterned fabric, and they nailed it. So.
All right, I'm up. I'm going to go with a Hot Toys figure. I got a bunch this year, and it was kind of hard to narrow it down to my favorite, but I think I'm going to go with the Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Obi-Wan series.
Yep.
I think we talked about it maybe a month or so ago, but that's a good example of one where they released the pictures of it, and it looked fine, but then the final product was like far better than the pictures that they had initially released, and I mean, the likeness on it is dead on. I love the display that it comes with, where he's got the levitating rocks on the back of the base, and you really don't even see that they're there. The way that they've got the clear stands positioned, and it's just a great figure, and it pairs really, really well with the Darth Vader, with the cracked helmet, with the Anakin head under it. So I'm gonna go with the Obi-Wan figure.
Brian?
I'm going to pass. I did not buy a plus $100 figure this year.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm going with the Vader from Obi-Wan Kenobi that Barry just mentioned. Great set. I have yet to set those up. I got to rearrange some stuff before I can get them fit anywhere. But 2 good characters, worth waiting for. All right, next round.
I had to redo my entire display case to get them in. So
I know.
in
I
now,
have to do that.
Oh, I'm next.
Yep.
Okay. Favorite other media, book, album, etc. Okay, so this year I finished the Murderbot Diaries. there's an Apple series coming this year in 2025 based on it. Great science fiction story. There's 7 volumes. They're short. Really, it's fun. Basically, an android that at some point in his past killed a whole lot of people due to a very possibly programming error. So now he's basically maintaining himself below the radar. So he's no longer controlled and isn't going to let himself be controlled because he's doing a better job of maintaining himself than the people that accidentally let him kill 65 miners. So
miners or miners?
As people who go into a mine and work.
Oh, not miners.
Yeah. Alexander Skarsgård plays the main character. I think it's going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to it. And that's sometime in 2025. So
what is this, Todd?
It is a book series called The Murderbot Diaries, and it's this humanoid android who's a security bot who, like I said, was due to a very likely a programming accident, like he killed everybody he was responsible for protecting. And then they reprogrammed him, and in the process left him free will. And so now he's making his own decisions, but he still thinks of himself as a murder bot. So nice. It's really good. It's funny and it's really well written. And
that sounds great.
And here's this guy who's this, it's narrated by him, who's just perplexed at the human condition, and in a very, very, very funny ways. So, yeah.
I passed on this category.
Okay.
I passed on this category as well.
Dave, pass. Darryl?
Oh, yeah, I've got one. So I missed the original Kickstarter for this, and I was on like 2 or 3 waiting lists for the subsequent reprints. And finally, I got a note saying, we have a copy for you to buy of
look at that.
Star Wars Toy Guide Volume 1 Kenner Action Figures, 1977 to 1985. And this is an oversized book.
Jeez.
It's too big for any of the bookshelves, that just goes through all the details. It's like the Kellerman archives on steroids.
Yep.
With
I have that
many
book.
Details. Barry, you've got this one?
Yeah. I do, yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Good for you.
But I agree with you. It doesn't fit on a bookcase.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's great, but big.
So I got it. Yeah, so I was lucky to get that for the first time this year. And an honorable mention goes to Carson Metaxas's The Art of G.I. Joe, which was another Kickstarter that was fulfilled this year. So a couple of major, major toy industry relevant books showed up this year.
Cool. All right, Barry, next round.
I'm going to go with my write-in. I only did one write-in. And I'm sure nobody else is going to have anything in this category, but my write-in is things that I liked that no one else did.
Willow? Is it Willow?
It's not Willow. No. This is the hottest take I'm going to make this year, but I've said it before. I didn't think Madam Web was that bad. I really didn't. It really wasn't that bad.
I agree with you. I don't
think
it was good. It was worse things.
It wasn't good.
Well, now I'm on the fence. Really... I may have to watch it, Barry.
I think that needs to be a live watch.
No, live won't watch it.
Short
we tried that.
Okay, live. I would live view that with all you guys. I would live view it, but I'm saying
okay.
I don't think there's enough going on in the movie.
That's repurposing time. That's not wasting time. So
okay.
But you knew the Joker thing sucked, but you watched that anyway. We've had this.
I've seen every Batman.
All right,
every Batman.
You've seen every Spider-Man adjacent
Madam
thing
Web.
too.
Okay.
Batman is in Madam Web.
Todd's a completist. We know this.
But
yeah,
we know that the Spider-Man adjacent things are crap. I haven't watched another one after Morbius.
I've never watched any of the Venoms either.
No,
the first Venom.
I've seen the first 2 Venoms. They're actually fun movies.
The other one's on streaming or something now. Anyway, okay. Wait. All right, that's yours. Anyone else have something you like that nobody else likes?
I'm not in this category.
No.
I don't know. I have to think. That's too much.
Probably have something, but I can't come up with it right now.
I'm sure.
Yep.
I like big butts.
Good
No, I don't.
And I cannot lie.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Good. That takes care of a whole round. Brian, next round.
Okay, my write-in category is favorite build.
Favorite what?
Favorite build, thing that I built.
I have that category.
What's on your workbench finished?
Good.
Yeah.
That ties right
mine
into
is my Jedi panel bar. The bar I made out
nice.
of Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brian, explain in detail what that is again for people who don't know.
Just so for Lucasfilm, if you're listening, give out your address as well.
Statute of limitations have passed on this, I think.
The bar.
It's covered under fair use.
Jabba's sail barge from Return of the Jedi. They built a full-size one out in the desert, outside of Arizona, or in Arizona, just outside of California. And when they were done, they basically threw the whole thing away in a big junk pile, and a bunch of fans liberated them. And I've had this panel, and it stands 4 feet high and about 2.5, 3 feet wide. One of the panels with the shutters that goes on the side of
It's
the
one of the
barge.
window shutters off Jabba's sail barge.
Right,
Yeah,
the window shutter.
The one right that if you opened it, you'd be staring at Slave Leia in her bikini. That's the one. It's
That's right.
screen-wrapped.
The actual changing room for the slaves on the barge. Yeah. Actually, I do know which one it is. I can point to it on the sail barge.
Really?
But I turned it flat and put a glass top on it and made a bar out of it. So it's a bar in my basement next to my 3PO and my R2.
That's awesome.
I was having this conversation with somebody not that long ago about your bar. That may be the largest surviving piece of Jabba's sail barge.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Well, this
Really?
got to be. You must know people who have the shutters also. No.
I do, but they were all the smaller ones because mine's one that turns a corner, so it's an oversized one. Yeah.
Dang.
Nice.
Congrats.
Nice. Well, I'm next, but my write-in was favorite thing I've made, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
And I make a lot of stuff, but I don't think you could see it. There it is. The nunchucks. I had John Wick 4 nunchucks display that I built. And I really love the way those. I'll even put my light on them so you can see them better. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Wow.
It's got the metal thing and a little hanging. I really was happy with the way those came out.
Very
I built a lot of
nice.
displays this year. I'm gonna just light myself like this.
They look like huge nunchucks. Are they extra large?
No, they're regular.
Nice.
And there is the picture that if you can see the picture, it's him holding them. It's just I was lucky enough to find a really great picture of them. No one's asking you.
I would. I'll jump in. I didn't. Obviously, this wasn't my category, but I've built a bunch of models this year. I think the one that I'm happiest with. I did the Aurora Prehistoric Scene Saber-Toothed Tiger model, a reproduction of it, and really happy with the way it came out. And I even added whiskers to it, one at a time, literally with fishing line. And I'm really, really. Every time I look at it, I'm like, how did I do that?
Yeah.
I'm very happy with the way it came out.
So,
Anyone else have
So
something they've made?
I built a patio bar cart, and so we got an old dresser, and Patty really wanted a patio bar cart. So we took some of the drawers out of the dresser, made the patio bar cart. We had a spare piece of Corian, and then I used the extra drawers to make a Bird Buddy bird feeding station / gardening cart.
That's a pretty good gizmo too. That Dave
sits in the
turned us on
garage.
to. The Bird Buddies are cool.
So it's all crude stuff, but all related to the Bird Buddy that you guys got me to buy.
We got everybody coming to the bird buddy. I do this year completely. When I sort of built it, we have a squirrel buddy because I am team squirrel, not team bird.
Yep.
So we have, the standard hook that you put we hang our bird feeders from that, the 6 foot tall sort of.
Yeah, the
hook.
shepherd's hook.
Shepherd's hook, yeah.
So we got a
Crook.
a corn cob holder. That's what the squirrels eat. So we put it on the hook, and I'm like, that was actually Pam bought that, and even though I'm the one who really loves the squirrels, I'm like, wait a second, these squirrels are supposed to climb up this metal pole and just hang there eating the corn. So I built them a little platform. I 3D printed something to go around, and there's a wooden platform so they could sit on the platform. And then, so we put it out. The squirrels are eating from it. We see these hawks come by. They're so I actually got this whole cover so the hawks can't see the squirrels from the sky.
Oh my gosh.
Got to protect the squirrels.
That's nice. That's really nice.
So
Todd has something he built.
My other writing category is going to be project. So I'm going to squeeze this in here too. So I have 8 DTOLF cases and too many figures to fit in these cases, too many Hot Toys figures. And so I went through a case at a time and moved the shelves and suspended figures, usually with fishing line. I have 92 figures in these 8 cases. I have room for 3 more figures that are incoming, and I have a 24-inch high tier that has nothing in it for future planning.
Wow.
And that's without getting rid of any figures. So I maximized this space. It took me 3 weeks of Sundays to go through, spending like 4 hours at a time going through and actually getting to this. And I'm really, really happy with the display and what it is. I have 2 cases that sit further ahead, and all of my Iron Man figures are in there. And Barry gave me one of the best suggestions ever for completing that. But everything just fits perfectly. And it's to the point where, like I said, just tremendous amount of time. I found these little clips that allow you to adjust the shelf height in a DTOLF, which is not the way they come. And that just made a world of difference. So really, really cool, and glad I'm done with it. So
Todd, how long will your empty space last you? Do you estimate?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I honestly do not know what will go in that space. So
nice. That's the only way to have it.
And that's just it. So we shall see. But there's always more stuff coming. So, yep.
Cool write-ins, guys.
Barry, did you go?
Yeah. Barry Saber.
Yeah.
Oh, Saber too. Yeah. Okay, we just went out of order. That's fine. My category's next. I'm going to go favorite prop replica. Then there's a number of them, but I got to go with I built the Strange New World phaser this year. I mean, I built it, but it is a prop replica, so I'm going to go with that. It came out good. I know they're Factory Entertainment, those fucking assholes, as we all know. No, that's a joke. They're not. Only Barry and I. You guys listen to Props podcast. He went.
If you listen to the Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of podcast, you'll get that joke.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But I'm happy with that came out. And I love that phaser. It's the perfect sort of phaser that is in the future yet still sort of in the past of what would be the original series favors. So that's what I got. Derryl.
I don't think I bought any prop replicas this year. I've only gotten real props, so I don't have. I'm not in this category.
Fair enough. Todd.
A nice problem to have.
According to spell check, because I made 4 tries and it wouldn't let me. I have something called the Shakira stone.
Nice. Is it her gallstone?
Does it vibrate?
Those hips don't lie.
Yep. It just I made 4 tries and it just kept changing it. So anyways, Barry worked that out for us. And so we each have one of the 3 set of 3 of the Shankara stones. And it sits in between my idol and my Holy Grail as it should.
Very nice.
So, yep.
Cool.
That's great. This was a tough one because I've gotten a bunch, but I think the Wampa replica of the Wampa puppet is my favorite, and we talked about it. I think when we had Tom on the show, when we talked about it, and it was one of the things that I actually got to spend a bunch of time with in the archives. So getting to have a really exact replica of it is pretty amazing.
Cool.
I'm going to go with the Cat's Paw Enterprise.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
I love that
That's
thing.
cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Wanted one forever.
Yeah, that's cool. I have an honorable mention of my Captain America shield fragment from that new company, which
that is cool.
They did a nice job with. And Urn of Narhachi, was that this year or last year? I feel that was last year.
I think
it was last year.
Was it? I got mine this year.
It may have been this year.
I got mine.
You got yours late,
so yeah.
Whatever.
Sometime I want to compare your urn with my urn replica, Dave.
Oh yeah, did you get it from the RPF or?
I got it many years ago.
There's like one guy who makes them. Yeah.
It could be. I don't really remember where. Exactly
There's not a lot of people making those. Yeah, we'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my honorable mention is the Darth Maul lightsaber that I got from the Disney Parks one that they released in the big wooden box with you take the lid off, it's got LED lights and it plays the Duel of the Fates. I love that thing.
Cool. Okay, Derryl, you're up. Next round.
I will say, let's see, what do we have left? Ooh, not much left, actually. I'll take a pass. I will delegate this to.
You have nothing left?
No, I do, but they're not that excited. Okay, let's do favorite collectible non-prop, non-action figure. Okay, I will pick. This is the year where I bought a lot of stuff, probably too much this year, but it's the first year where I bought art from a bunch of other different categories that I wasn't in already. So I got my first pieces of wacky package art this year, thanks to Heritage.
Yeah, nice.
So I love wacky packages, but I think the piece I'm looking forward to the most, also from a Heritage auction, is my first piece of Magic the Gathering card art. And that's from a piece, a card called Helionaut. From an old set called Apocalypse. So that hasn't come in yet, but I'm looking forward to that, getting it framed and putting it up on the wall so I can look at that and my wacky package art. So
nice.
Art this year was the big deal.
Cool. Todd.
So I thought a lot about this, and this is a little odd, but it is collectible. I bought and I mentioned this in the show, I bought a 1963 production Walther P38. Which is just, I've always liked this gun. It's historic. It's as Brian pointed out, every bad guy in every 1960s movie has one. It's actually fun to shoot and accurate. I took it out a couple times. I did wear a black turtleneck both times, just because I thought that was appropriate for the gun. But yeah, it's just, like I said, something I've always wanted. Got a good deal on it, and it's just very cool. And like I said,
it's the Uncle gun too.
Yes, it's the Man from It's the base gun for the Man from Uncle. Yeah. It was produced within a month of me, so which also makes it very, very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I guess I'm up. I'm going to go with some art that I got this year. Also, I got 3 art sketches. One from a guy named Dave Carson, and 2 from a man named Ken Ralston, both of which worked on the original trilogy for Star Wars. And they're really awesome. Like the Gamorrean Guard one is basically a painting, like either little watercolor painting. And it's really great. The 2 from Ken Ralston are a little bit more cartoonish, but awesome as well. So those are probably my favorite. Most of what I bought is toys or props, so it's hard for me to find something.
Yeah, when I had that question, it was like, what does that mean? No. But
I have the perfect thing. I actually made a deal, not buying in an auction, but made a deal with another fan to get a green girl's costume from Logan's Run.
Oh yes,
sweet.
It's not a Jessica costume, but it's the same cut as her costume, which is kind of rare. But it's a green Logan's Run costume.
That's awesome. I'm going to use this as a technicality because I did get it in 24, but after we did our show. So Barry gave me this for Christmas, as an original Star Wars sticker from the production company.
That's beautiful.
So this was probably 2 days before 2025, but
yeah, I was right at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But before this show, chronologically, so we're still within a year of the show.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, that is definitely falls in the.
Those are. I think that you can honestly say those are the very first Star Wars collectibles ever produced.
Yeah,
those were made during
when they were making
the film.
The show. Yeah.
Yep.
So
the
that's
chicken
awesome.
Poster. Yep.
Love that. That's everybody. All right, Todd.
Biggest disappointment can be anything. I'm going to say it's that people keep giving Zack Snyder money to make stuff.
I would say that's an excellent.
And I
good one.
keep convincing
Disappointment.
myself. I keep convincing myself he didn't squander it. I don't know why. I just keep buying into. It's like, okay, maybe this time, but I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So that was my big disappointment. It's like, don't be fooled again, and I probably will be. So
Fair enough. That's a good one, Barry.
That is a good one. Well, I was tempted to say politics in the United States of America, but I won't say that.
God, yes. This country of fucking idiots. But
Yeah. I'm going to go with, so you all know I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. He released a movie this year called The 4:30 Movie, and it just didn't need to exist. It's just not good, and I'm disappointed because it should have been better.
no,
movies are
that's
never
legitimate.
great.
That is.
But-
It did not need to exist. Wow, that's a very kind way of saying it.
Has he done anything good in a long time?
He
What was the last?
has. I mean, I've enjoyed almost everything he's ever done.
Well,
on certain levels, this movie just. I'm sorry.
Isn't he
I
doing
would
it-
almost
need to
suggested
exist.
that me and you go to the premiere in the Atlantic Highlands. Thank God we didn't.
Well, that might have been a more enjoyable event just because it would have been fun, but
Yeah.
the movie itself is just, sorry.
It's just
Sorry,
like,
Kevin.
yeah.
Love you, still love you, but
What are you gonna do?
that movie was.
Fair enough.
Brian, did you have something on that one?
Star Wars Acolyte.
I knew somebody would say it, which is why I didn't.
I had that too.
Yeah,
I,
that's
It almost
mine.
goes without saying at this point.
I do have to go back to the politics.
It's
so
like if you
I
look up
agree.
disappointment, it says see also Star Wars The Acolyte.
Yeah.
You know that I will. I don't know why. I will talk about the politics, but we all know what I'm disappointed about. But I used to watch 3 or 4 hours of news every single day
Oh, this is so funny.
before the election.
Yeah,
I watch
I hear you.
nothing
Yeah.
now.
Me too. I can't stand
I
watch
don't.
it.
There's nothing I can
I'm
do
the
to
same way.
fix this. I don't care.
I met Rachel Maddow the week before last, and that was the closest I've been to watching news since the election. Seriously, I had a
I would love to
5-minute
talk to her.
I had a 5-minute conversation with her, and that is the closest. Like I said, and it was just
This is really interesting.
It is
thought
funny
it was
because
just-
it'd be every single day, and then
Okay.
I'd go to work and I'd talk to some dopes. So like, do you realize this? And there's no.
and that
convincing
is
some
that's
people.
I skim Apple News every morning, and I look at.
I do too, but political
stuff like-
news or news.
And you know about the ratings for like MSNBC.
No, I don't.
stuff like
I'm not
this.
in that business anymore.
Well, again, they're tanking, but it's just it's really interesting because like I think I have listened to like close to 40 hours of audiobooks since the election. I've been going through all these things that I've had that didn't, like finishing up series and stuff like this, and I don't even think about it now. And it's just it's bizarre. It's
I was
really weird.
so into the news.
I was too, and it's like I said, it's odd that we're all in that same kind of place.
I think
will
mystery
say-
drones over New Jersey is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm following that story, but that's
We-
about
I
it.
are
I've been over
I
Long
just-
Island too.
How can you not? How can the government not figure out what that is? Like seriously?
It's freedom, guys. There's a section of airspace you're free to fly in with no
Well,
regulations, and that's where they are.
Upstate New York, Stewart Airport, small airport. They delayed flights for over an hour because they were in their airspace.
That's different.
Yeah.
Those need to be shot down.
Back when I was going to trade shows, a trade show in Germany that was the giant trade show, but they were selling net guns for bringing down drones around stadiums because they're a big problem at soccer stadiums, a really big problem. So
There are
got
problem
net
at
guns
concerts now too. There have been concerts where the artists have like run off stage because a drone flew in that wasn't their own drone.
Yeah.
I know someone who was part of a government program that studied a bunch. I'm trying to be as vague about this as possible. Studied a bunch of anti-drone technologies, and the most effective thing they came up with was a gun that shot basically a ball of fishing line that then spread out.
Yeah.
And it just took them down, and whereas nets missed and stuff like this, but this thing would just send out this super fine fishing in a wide scattered pattern, and like a spider.
It's not good for wildlife, though.
It is not, and it's not good for wildlife, but it would take a drone down better than anything else. And it was just a little ball with this, kind of like scatter field of fishing line going from it. So
interesting.
So I had an honorable
a lot of
mention.
thought and effort is going into this.
Wait, Derryl didn't go. Derryl, were you disappointed?
So I'm gonna. Well, Star Wars Acolyte was my number one, but I have a very strong dishonorable mention I have to get through in this category.
Dishonorable mention, nice.
It's Wizards of the Coast and the insanely greedy proliferation of Magic card sets they've announced for next year, and they are basically going to. It seems like they're almost doubling the number of sets every year. And I will say this year, for the first year, I had 3 print defects in the cards that I collect. And they go 6 weeks without answering the questions. They're incredibly rude and not caring about customer service. I think maybe it must be because they laid most of those people off.
Yep.
But it's just the Wizards of the Coast greed is just it's just rapacious and getting out of control. So when the bubble pops, they're going to lose me big time, and I'm afraid that's coming. Sometimes. So
fair enough. Barry, honorable mention. We can just bitch about shit all night.
I'll call it a dishonorable mention too, just because I like that name. The Bear season 3. I love the Bear season 1 and 2. The Bear season 3 just was not anywhere close to the first 2 seasons.
Okay, fair enough.
So.
Okay,
not Acolyte bad, but not great.
Because your expectations were high. It's the reverse delta that Todd talked about.
Yep.
Yes.
In the
exactly.
in the first one.
Okay, we have gone through 20 rounds. Now, let's just see where we sit. The only thing no one brought up most looking forward to in 2025, we would do that last. I think we should close
with that, yeah.
I figured that was the last one, right?
I'm just looking through. I don't think...
Streaming platform. We can.
Does anyone give a shit about streaming platforms?
No.
I have a question about that real quick. So if I were answering this one, I would probably say YouTube. But here's the question I have.
I'd say YouTube.
I don't pay for the commercial-free version. Do any of you? And should I?
No.
I'm about to.
I don't. I watch a lot of YouTube. There's way more commercials than there used to be.
Yeah.
Now there's like 45 seconds of commercial. I'm still not paying for the commercial-free version. YouTube is free.
I find it really frustrating because the commercials are so often now.
It's interesting. Some creators, and I think that you could pick like where your commercials go, and even in some instances how many there are. Some people just someone's in the middle of a word and they cut through.
Yep.
So
I know that's why it's so frustrating.
Part of the creators.
How much is it, Barry?
I looked into it this week, and I think it's like $16 a month or something like that.
No
how much
way.
How much YouTube content do you consume a month?
I'm probably at least a half hour a day. If
I watch half hour a day, I'm not paying $16 for that. There's no way.
I'm in 2 or 3 hours a day.
16 hours of content. So is it worth $1? 50 cents a day for your time? That's not bad.
It isn't.
I mean, when I think about how much I'm paying for some of the streaming services that I don't use.
Yeah, I know.
Here's one that I do use, and I'm not willing to pay.
Add them up.
Commercial free.
So you're paying less for Disney Plus than you would be for YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
You watch YouTube more, but I cannot pay for another streaming service.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
No, that's the thing. I agree. I added up how many. As part of this, I counted how many I'm paying for, and it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Anyway, I was just curious if anybody on this group was actually.
I'm thinking about it because I watched a lot, and the commercials have gotten really bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, true. Okay, that's streaming service. I think that's it. Does anyone have something that hasn't been answered? Does anyone have a write-in that you haven't brought up?
Your typo I'm most looking forward to in 2024. I have one.
In the next 3 days.
I have one.
Give it to us.
Nosferatu, the remake that comes out Christmas Day.
I feel like that's been coming out for years and years and years.
Yeah, it's Christmas Day. I can't wait.
And I'll add to
my
that,
son. My son mentioned that the other night. He's really excited about it.
I'm too scared to see that.
Season 3 of What If is starting. I think the 23rd. So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm shocked we did it in 20 rounds, more or less. We actually did. I didn't think we. And Todd, you were right. We could have had a bunch of other things that didn't get done, but that worked out okay. So cool. All right. Last thing is most looking forward to in 2025, and it can be anything. Let's go back to the top of the list, Barry.
Oh, the big Star Wars movie. Oh no, wait, there isn't going to be a Star Wars movie in 2025, so I'm not excited about that. All right, sorry, I'm going to say it, and I apologize in advance, but I am making a trip to Northern California in a few weeks, and that will be my first trip in the new year, and I am extremely excited about that. So that is currently the thing I'm looking most forward to, but there are a few things that we already know that we're doing throughout the year next year that I'm equally excited about, and we'll see if any of those come up, and if not, I'll mention them at the end.
Okay, we got to talk about all that stuff too. Who's next, Brian?
Barry, you're right. There's something coming up that I'm even more excited about. But I wrote down Spinal Tap, the movie, Part 2. I can't wait for that movie to come out.
Fingers crossed, Brian. Fingers crossed.
Is Rob Reiner directing it? I hope so.
I think he's involved. I haven't looked too deeply into this.
I've heard it's coming. I don't know anything about it.
It says Rob Reiner teases release date. So
good.
Either a producer or the director. Summer 2025.
That could be interesting. Fair enough. Me. I went to more broad. So as people alluded to, I am no longer doing what I used to do for a living. I am semi-retired, but I am in 2025. I am starting a new business, which we'll talk about when we get going. It's not going to make me $1 million, but maybe it will. So I'm going to start doing some things in 2025, and I look forward to. And I've had a month that I'm no longer working at my old job that I've taken off, and I'm going to jump in the new year. So I'm excited about that.
We're very excited for you on that day.
That is exciting.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm actually what I'm going to do, but no, I have a couple things. So that's me. Who's after me?
I'm looking forward to Captain America being really good in February, hopefully, and kicking off a strong slate of Marvel movies in 2025.
Cool.
Hope so.
One thing I'm looking forward to. And I will say, Brian, I think you're onto something with Nosferatu. I'm looking on Letterboxd, and my son Dylan has a lot of friends who work in LA in the film industry.
Mm-hmm.
And among at least one of them who sees a lot of films every year, Nosferatu is his #1 rated film of this year. So he's already seen it, must have seen a preview somewhere, and it ranks very highly. So now I'm intrigued. So
kind of weird how we just kind of get in the cycle. We work through the sexy vampires, and then we get back to Nosferatu. And then it will kind of start up again. Yeah. So
they're going to remake Underworld after this.
Yeah. So.
Todd.
At everybody?
Okay. Pretty much it's everybody, but in 78 days, Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Good one.
Good.
Is that from Marvel Studios, Todd?
Yes. Yep.
It is now, because it used to be.
And it's interesting. They came out recently and said it is in continuity with the Netflix series.
That's right.
And it's 5 years later. So it's set 5 years later because they're not even going to try to do the Harry Potter Stranger Things thing and pretend that no time has passed, even though everybody's older. So, yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Good. Cool. Well, I think there's a lot of fun movies coming out. I think there's some fun events going on.
Well, I want to throw out there, I'm super excited about us going to Wonderfest. I know we've already booked our hotels for that.
Did we?
So
someone booked I don't remember if we did that.
Brian booked the hotels. Yeah. I've already started looking at airfare.
Well, coordinate with me because we in theory would be going on the same plane.
Yes,
right?
yes. You and I would definitely be going on the same plane.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm super excited about that. I've heard about this show so many years running. Everybody that I know that goes always says, Barry, why are you not going to this convention, including Brian? So super looking forward to that.
We have to. I think we're doing that, or some of us are doing that. We should do more stuff, more conventions other than Rhode Island.
I'm gonna try to drive up for the day and meet you guys there. It's at 4.5 hours for me.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
I would think of going to Awesome Con, which is in Washington, in your neck of the woods, Brian.
Oh, okay.
I've been to it once before.
Is that
April? Maybe.
Have I been to it? Is it an anime show?
No. It's like a Comic-Con.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think it'd be good because it's not too far. We could all get there. I don't even know if the dates work out, but I have a Firefly poster that I'm missing one person on, and they're going to be at this show. So I do need to go, but I also think it could work out for some or all of us. It's a decent show.
You've been carrying that Firefly poster around a long time.
Well, it's been in the wall for 8 years because...
Well, no, but I'm just saying, I was with you when you started it, and that was a long time ago.
I got most of it done in like a year and a half, and then the one guy who's probably my least interesting guy, but if he's going to be at a show within 4-ish hours of me, I feel like I got to go finish it.
Yeah, totally.
So, anyway. Well, cool.
The other thing
right.
I'll just throw out there, and I know we haven't officially planned it yet, but we are planning for all of us to go to the Star Trek set tour. And I'm really looking forward to that happening.
Yes, we're doing that soon.
We're going to put that together. Yep.
We're doing that soon.
Totally. That'll be so fun.
Yeah, that'll be good. We'll figure that out. Okay. All right. That was a marathon show. Thank you for bearing with us.
Cool 2 hours. Easy peasy.
Yeah, exactly.
I always get lots of good ideas from you guys on stuff I haven't seen or need to get.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well, thank you all the listeners for listening, for chatting with us. People have been here a long time. There's new people. We appreciate all you guys. We're doing a show next week, but I guess next week's show will be out in 2024. Yeah. Right? That'll be the last show. Big plans for that one. I have no idea what that is.
Yes.
This was a big plan.
Yep.
When we said we had 3 planned and a couple
we have
not
Christmas.
planned.
What we always do, the Christmas with the wives. We've got to. Okay, here's the listener. People like when we have the wives on. If anyone's got a suggestion of what we do with them, tell us. Because I don't know what it is. But everyone. Todd shakes his head. Why are you shaking your head?
Anyways.
Are you shaking your head because the last time we recorded, I told everyone to fillet the mic?
And then we had to explain why we say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to do something with them.
Let the 5 wives just come and occupy the mic, and we just leave.
That's right. We can do that.
You guys
come
do a
back
show.
an hour and a half later
show.
and see what you have.
No. But anyway, we'll figure that out. All right. Well, thank you all. Thanks again. Thanks for the listening audience. Hopefully, here's to a better 2025. Well, can't get better in some reasons. We'll see.
Well, and this will be probably the last show of the year with all 5 of us.
Yes.
So thank you guys for hanging in with us as many times as you did this year. And it's always fun.
A great year.
And thanks for the friendship, and thanks for the camaraderie and the, encouragement and not so encouraging sometimes with the, what do we always say? Like we're a focus group, but we're also convincing each other.
Enablers.
Yes.
We are
Enablers,
influencers
that's
just
the
to
word I was
each other.
looking for.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but that's half the fun. So
Exactly. Well, thank you all, and thanks for listening.
thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.